What up? What up? What up, man? We back in the building, y'all.
We are here. We're gonna just wait a couple of moments as you all log in. We do apologize for the tardiness. We had some technical difficulties, man. The devil is always busy.
Teddy
We're
Riley.
grateful no Teddy Riley's here, man. No Teddy Riley's here, man. We're gonna get this thing rolling. If you all could just go ahead, hit that like button, smash that share button. We want to invite everybody into this episode of Kickinit316. This is episode 7. And we'll hold off for just a few more seconds, and then we're going to get rolling. We got a special show for you all with some special guests. Let's go ahead, hit that like button and share.
It might be.
Thought it was,
I don't know.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like another podcast. I can't never keep up with their numbers, but I think it's 8. But
okay, well, I'll trust your mind over mine.
All right, guys. So what it is, Shay?
All right. Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves once again. I'm Croc Kicks.
Boy, Ted.
This is Gio, and we're kicking it 316.
Actually, we be kicking it 365, but 316. We're roll with it.
Yo, your microphone is kicking in 180 though.
It's kicking at 0. Get closer to your mic, man.
Make sure you yell into that mic, man. And go ahead and start us off, man, with our topic for tonight, Ted.
All right, man. Yeah, so tonight, man, we have a special topic. We're talking about entrepreneurship in the Black community, man. We have some special guests here. But before we do that, just want to let y'all know, man, I have to plug my own business. For those who don't know, man, I'm one of the owners of We Care First Call Transportation, man, where we specialize in expediting and courier services here actually we take care of all of Florida, but we're stationed here in Central Florida. So tonight we just want to take time because we're always talking about how we can do things better in our community and supporting Black business, doing this for Black business. But we wanted to bring on some business owners so we can talk to them directly and we can let them share some information with you all. So without further ado, let me back up a little bit. I think what we have to realize that it is important to have Black entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
all the time we have these blackouts, we have these not spending money, and then rather than not spending our money, I said this before, we need to just not stop. We need to not just spend money one day out of the week and just say on July 7th I'm not going to spend money. No, on July 7th I'm going to stop spending money at establishments that are not Black or minority-owned establishments. So for the rest of the year, I'm going to do my best. Now, there isn't a Black entrepreneur in everything around us that we know about, but I'm going to do my best to spend my money within the Black community. So I think it is important to hear from entrepreneurs so that we know who they are and we know what type of services they provide. So it also provides a platform and I guess a path for other people who want to become entrepreneurs. Hearing from those who have gone through, who have been tested and tried, hearing from them gives us motivation and gives you motivation to be able to do it as well.
And especially to do it at the level that they have been doing it,
Yes, sir.
So, there's nothing wrong with imitating success. And so tonight we're just going to be blessed to show you what success looks like in our own community. And I hope that, as Ted said, we can just decide to make some lifestyle changes and empower our own community so that we are able to, in a very real sense, move the ball forward and leave something better for the next generation coming up. And so without any further ado, we just want to, I know time is money and time is precious. and so we're going to just ask these individuals. We'll start with Mr.
I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to introduce him. So right here in Orlando, the best barbershop in the world, but they are stationed here in Orlando.
Let's
Mr.
go.
B's
Plug it.
grooming. We got Brandon in the building, Mr. B himself.
Here. What's up? What's up?
On social media, he is the barber PhD. I'm telling you, this man's always putting on classes and clinics throughout COVID. He was putting on classes and clinics the whole time.
And as you can see, that's his that's their logo. So go, you can find him on Instagram, on Facebook, on the internet. Yo, he's live. You can check him out, Mr. B's Grooming Lounge. Welcome to the
Yes,
stage,
thank you.
Mr.
Thank you, guys. I
Brandon.
appreciate it. Thank you for
By
having me,
appointment
man. It's a
only.
pleasure.
By appointment
Straight
only.
up.
Yeah, we'll talk. Hey, I might need
Straight
some
up.
help. I might need some help. I've been doing my own COVID cuts. That's why I have a
We
hat
gotta
on right
get
now. All
we
right,
gotta
good,
get
good.
that together. We gotta get it together there, man.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Yes, sir.
next,
Moving down the line.
next but not least, in the middle, this is someone that I've known for a while,
Long time.
long time, and went to school together, and she is a business owner, very successful, and there's no superlative that I can say that would literally meet meet the standard that she has set for herself and for her business. And so she is the CEO, the president, director of the Nurse Practitioner Group, Miss Stacy Reed Santiago.
Man,
What's going on,
and
Stacy?
I hope she talks about her other business too. I mean, this lady is
She
a
has multiple
multi-business
businesses.
owner. This
She
is
has
not just
multiple.
one
So
business.
this is just one branch. This is one
Yeah,
branch of it all. Yeah.
this lady is making moves, man. So we're gonna get a chance to talk to her. Go ahead, Croc.
Yes, sir. Last man, is a personal friend of mine, Manny. You know, some known by his government, Emmanuel. But his brand is the Goodie Vault, and this young brother got some goodies in that vault, y'all. I went by the shop, man, caught me some gear to go with some kicks, man, and Manny is a good friend of mine, and I owe him big kudos, big shout outs because he put pressure on me to just make this continue to happen. I had been
What's
telling
up?
him about the idea,
That's
and I
what's
saw
up.
his business take off from the ground up, man. And he's been my inspiration. He put
That's
that
what's up.
pressure on me. He was calling
Good
me
stuff.
weekly, yo,
Good
what's
stuff.
up, Croc? What's up?
You know it. You know
So
it.
Manny is in the building. He's here in Huntsville, and we'll give you all a little bit of time to kind of tell us about your brands and just about your story. We got some questions that we want to dive into,
Yeah, real quick.
and let's
Yeah,
go ahead and start things
we
off.
and we're gonna just so they know. Also for those who are watching, we have questions and we're gonna ask, and then we're gonna let each business owner answer the question. According to their experience. So it won't just be one person answers one thing. No, each business owner will get a chance to answer, so you all can hear the different experiences. All right, Croc, I believe you up first, brother.
Sure. So let's see. Our first question is, what was your motivation for the inception of your business and your brand? What was the motivation? And we're going to start off to my left with the Goodie Vault. If you can go ahead and start off.
All right. My motivation for starting the Goodie Vault was I feel like a fraud because I got business degrees and not starting a business. It's kind of fake to me. So that was a real motivation.
Yeah.
And I feel like that really drove me. That was it.
All right. Miss Stacy, what was your motivation?
Well, I am the only female on here, but
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
It's all good.
I was motivated from the standpoint of being a mother. I had to be able to create my own lane in order to have the perfect balance, in order to mom right.
Yeah.
So that was my firstborn was my motivation.
Yo, that's
dope.
Dope.
I love it. And Brandon, I have had the opportunity to visit your shop, man.
Mhm.
And I got lined up during AJ's wedding weekend. Dope spot. I really enjoyed it. What was your motivation behind it?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I think my motivation was really based on the idea of the community barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I'm from a small town where it's that small town vibe. The chairs turn towards the guests towards the waiting area because you want to invite conversation. And as time has gone on, you move to bigger cities and barbershops get bigger and bigger and bigger. You lose that personal aspect. So to kind of return us to the aspect of the community barber shop that is in that community and doing, as what they can for that community. So that was really my motivation for that.
I love it. And I do want to just come a little bit off the script, fellas. And I want to, since we ended with you, Brandon, we'll start back with you and just give us a little bit, a synopsis of what it is that you do, your shop. Just tell us a little bit about your shop.
Yeah. So pretty much, man, I feel like one of the things that we always say is like, you know, this shop, this is where the vibes live. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, yes,
and
sir.
I feel like that's something that has to be like organically cultivated, you know? And so for me, it's really huge to have people that are in there that understand that vision, that understand not only that, but the accountability that we have with and for one another, and not only for each other, but for the people that come into that space, right? So this, you know, I always think of like the barbershop as the third social space, or salon as third social space for people. So you have the church, you have the school, and then you have the barbershop / hair salon. These are these three spaces, you know what I'm saying? So in the community. So I wanted it to be a place where people could not only express who they are, but are challenged in their ideals to move away. And it's so important, especially in our community, to sometimes kind of move away from certain things. So as much as it is about me loving to cut hair and all of that good jazz, it's more so about the impact that I can create through my space to an entire people, you know?
Appreciate that. Stacy, if you could tell us a little bit about your brand, your business.
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur, as AJ, Ted mentioned.
I like that.
Yes, come on.
And, the primary business that I think I'll discuss is probably the nurse practitioner group. We are basically, and I hate to call us a staffing agency because to me that really takes away from what we really encompass. I'm a nurse practitioner, board certified family nurse practitioner. So, you know, I'm able to treat and write prescriptions for patients. So I was able to multiply myself by a lot and hired more of me to do more of the work. Make a long story short, we have over 170 providers nationwide with about and we basically serve the VA. So our clients are military clients. And we're a multidisciplinary group. So it's not just nurse practitioners. We have doctors, psychologists, audiologists. And I also will mention that about 85 to 89% of our business is Black. Yeah.
I love it. Was that intentional, or just how it kind of just happened?
No. It was extremely intentional. I had to intentionally hire other groups of people. So it wasn't hard to hire Black people. I think the issue with the inequity of us being hired has everything to do with the lack of ownership.
There it is.
I was getting checked on, in the beginning, I was getting checked on not being diverse enough in the other way.
My Lord. Yeah. But you said something that's deep. It says that, you know, the iniquity checked it by having something that you own. And I think that's the driving point, I think, of this conversation that we want to have to a larger degree, that, you know, we can do much more for our own people if we have individuals who we support and we help gain that ownership so that they can in return hire from within their own community. That's beautiful. Man, beautiful.
And I don't want people to think too, just because we're trying to do for our own, that we are excluding other people. What we're saying is that we need to have a place for our people where they know it is a safe space, where they have opportunity, where they can see somebody like Stacy, Brandon, Manny doing these things and say, hey, they did this, so I can do the same. And then we replicate the system, and we do it over and over again, and we build our community, you know, by doing things like this. If we don't see that, then we don't know it's possible. Yeah. So I can definitely understand that. To her point, you know, with me, I have to hire drivers. And just today I sent off an application with, I think, about 6 drivers. And one of them, he just joined on. The only non-Black person is this guy Juan. So it's, I mean, and I get what you're saying. It's just the way it works. I mean, it's not that I'm not trying to hire, you know, other people, but it's just, I guess, in your circle, you want to empower those people. So
absolutely. Manny, sorry.
It was harder not to hire African-American females because African-American females are overqualified most times. remember saying to someone in Mississippi when they asked, like, how come I kept sending Black providers in Memphis? And I said, well, it's not really my fault that they're the ones that are qualified for this particular position, especially when you're talking about like a mid-level position in healthcare. So way more African American females.
That's what's up.
So.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Manny with the Goodie Vault, man. Tell us a little bit about what you do, man.
So the Goodie Vault, it's a vintage store specializing in vintage garments from the 1940s all the way to the 90s. Everything is secondhand, so it's really try to push sustainability and just reminding people you can look fresh and you don't have to spend a lot of money. So that's really my big thing, because I feel like I got some nice stuff, and people think you spend a lot of money and you really didn't. So it's good, people's pockets, good for the environment, and it's also helping people be more creative and eccentric as well.
So man, you're not gonna mention the rugs you got tucked away. You're not gonna mention the rugs.
I'm kind of holding on to those tight.
Okay, my bad.
But I mean, you said the right number. You can take it.
Okay. I love it, man. Let's move down to our second question.
All right, let's start with Stacey on this one. Stacey, so tell me, I guess, one pitfall or one failure, and then one of your biggest successes since you've been an entrepreneur.
Failures happening right now. We'd be here all night. I would say an almost failure. I remember when I had my first payroll and I couldn't make it. I couldn't figure out how to raise like $50,000. So I hadn't been paying myself yet, and I needed to pay a few providers that had been working. And let's say payroll was supposed to be ran on the 1st, and by like the 31st, I had to come up with $50,000, and I really just didn't know what to do. And at that point, I told my brother, I remember telling him, once I find the $50,000 and I pay these providers for working, this is like 6 years ago, I'm going to quit. I'm done. Like, I never want to be under this type of pressure ever again. My brother was like, no. Like, you can't quit. Like, this is just the beginning. He was basically trying to remind me that if you have a $50,000 payroll, he's like, you're in it.
Yeah.
You are in it. And I was like, I couldn't see it. So I quit right then. I learned about factoring and all kinds of other methods that I was able to get some information about, and I was able to make the payroll. So, and I was able to make the payroll this is the success. And it's in the same story. I was able to make the payroll by going to the client, letting them know the truth. I was like, you know what? We're on to something big. I can do a lot for you, but if we stay at net 30, we're going to fail, and your program's going to fail with it. So it was as simple as being humble and letting go of my ego. And what they did, they said, okay, from now on, we will pay you at net 14, which is...
That's big.
That's huge, right?
Yeah.
Like, who pays you net 14? And that went on for about a year until we were able to get enough. I mean, you need to be able to have enough cash flow in your payroll in order to grow, or else you'll never grow. So that was the success. The success was, the failure was almost giving up, obviously wanting to give up, but the success was not giving up in that moment when it was extremely hard, and humbling myself and coming to my client and saying, and that doesn't always work. I'm not saying go to your client, hey, I can't afford to finish this job. But I think we were in an impressive part of our organization at that point, and I knew what we had. And I was able to point that out and say, hey, this is what we can do. And we've been with them for almost 6 years, and we've made millions for them.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Mr. Brandon, Dr. PhD, Barber PhD. So tell me about one of your failures and one of your successes.
I would say, man, the failure would be not opening when we first were supposed to. Like, you know, and a lot of people don't know the story behind it, but it was we opened up in March 2017. We were supposed to be open July of 2016. And the space in which we were going into, the whole deal just kind of fell from underneath me. I bought all of this equipment, bought all this stuff, got everything, you know, business licenses and all of this stuff ready to roll. And then just like that, when I'm getting ready to sign the lease, it all fell out. And it was really difficult to find a new space, you know, so that part was really difficult for about, you know, almost over a year, you know, it was pretty rough. And obviously, eventually we found the right spot, and the success, I would say, is that I feel like we're enjoying the success of it right now, right? I feel like, you know, since we've opened in 2017, we had to deal with a hurricane that shut us down for 2 weeks, right? And as a small business, you know, 2 weeks with no pay, that's tough, right? And then now we just had to come through COVID-19, which was 8-9 weeks of being shut down and no pay. And we're currently in the process now, you know, by God's grace, of we're doing a renovation as we speak. You know what I'm saying? This whole weekend. So not only were we able to come through, oh, it's gonna look dope, man. Not only were we able to come through this unscathed, but we're able to thrive. You know what I'm saying? And to continue to progress. So I would say, man, we're living in that success right now.
I love it. I love it. Manny, tell us about your one failure and one success.
Alrighty. I would say my well, it's a lot of failures, but my biggest one was not starting sooner. You know, I feel like taking a chance on yourself is like the best thing you can do, is just jumping out there. And then now I'm here. I'm like, man, why didn't I do this before? I could have, you know, really took advantage of relationships that I had at that time and really, you know, got this thing going. So to everybody that's listening, take a chance on yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing.
That's big.
Yeah, I mean, you really got everything to win when you do that. And you learn a lot. But my biggest success is being able to give back to my community and other communities. One big part of my business model is giving back. So many people throughout my life, everything, school, work, so many people have given me a chance, given me opportunities, and it's important for the Goodie Vault to do the same. So I've been able to award over $2,300 in scholarships and money to help out different organizations, especially one that's actually in Florida. So that's my biggest success.
That's dope. That's dope. I know that this show is called Kicking It, so we did ask y'all to bring out your kicks, your professional kicks. But before we get there, one last question, and I'm gonna start with Manny this time, right? Basically, and then we're gonna go through the, through the entire panel. What were some contributions or inspirations to the Black community? In other words, I guess the question is asking, what are some of the contributions that we have made, that you all have made to the community? And then what were some of your inspirations from the community as relates to your relationship with it? So Manny, you can get started.
All right. So just to clarify, I'm telling you, what were my inspirations from the community?
Yeah. So I'm gonna read that again. What were some contributions or inspirations to the Black community? So I guess it's either or. Is that what it is, Shay?
Yeah. Let me just bring a little clarification. It was my question I wrote. So, how did you impact the community? But also, have you inspired anybody in the community?
There it is.
You know, is there entrepreneur mentee program, or do you have anybody who shadows you? That's the type of question we were asking.
Nice. For me, I do have a few mentees, some young guys that are interested in style and they like to dress. So I've been able to work with them, have them move around the shop with me, teach them about, different periods of clothing. And it's really fun, to give back. And, people have done that for me. And we have that responsibility to encourage and to, put the light bulb on, set it off in someone else's mind. So, yeah, I've been able to do that, and it's really a blessing.
Mr. Brandon?
Yeah. What I would say, man, like I teach, barbering as well. You know what I'm saying? So the aspect of having mentees and having people that, that you're inspiring, the guys that I work with were actually started out as my students. Right. And so when they finished school and went throughout, they then came and worked for me afterwards. So being able to have that, see them come full circle in that journey, just standing there right next to me. And on top of that, man, like I feel like us being Black people and just having a business is inspiration, right? Because I believe that you only can be what you see,
Yeah.
right? So that's why, and that's why growing up, kids want to be drug dealers because in their communities, that's what they see,
They saw.
right?
Yeah.
So our presence alone and letting people know what it is we do and having a standard, right?
Yeah.
That's why when little boys come in the shop, I'm very, very particular about, number one, the conversation we're having, how we're presenting ourselves as Black men, right? Because that's what they're going to see. They enjoy being in that environment. That's what they're going to see. And the other part of the question was, where did I draw my inspiration from? One of the mottos that I have is be the mentor to somebody else that someone was to you. Right. And I had a great mentor coming when I first started working as a barber, and he taught me not only about hair, but just about manhood. And I was at an age where, you at the age where you bucking against your dad, right? You don't want to listen to what he's saying. But luckily there was another brother in the community to be able to wrap his arms around me and really give me the coaching and mentorship that I need. So I draw my inspiration from how that made me feel during that time.
That's dope. That's
Good
very
stuff,
dope.
good stuff.
And then finally, Miss Stacy, you have the last word. Same question.
It was such a long time ago, no? So I started another company called Posh Hydration and fusion company. And in the medical world, IV hydration is like a big thing. All the young ladies want to do it. They want to be a part of it. So what I've done was I picked about 3 or 4 top influencers in the healthcare game. And I said, okay, I'm going to make you a CEO. I'm going to give you your own business. Here you go. You're the owner of this segment of Posh, and fly. Here's your bag. Here's everything you need for it. Now go run. Were they successful with it yet? No, but they were given the opportunity to start their very own business. Everything that I could possibly want in my hands was given to them as a jump start to say, okay, you said you wanted to start your own business. This is a whole nother topic. So here's your business. Now go start it.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the things that I did. I'm first generation American. So, I think I've been inspired just by the natural progression of seeing my parents come to this country and just try tooth and nail to fight and make it without high school diplomas initially.
Yeah.
So I don't really have any real mentors in terms of like, this is the person I want it to be like per se. I have a lot of inspiration that I've drawn from a lot of Black women. I lived in DC for 15 years. So it's nothing short of inspiration, especially when you look like chocolatey and stuff,
Yeah. Blackity, black. I hear you. All right. So real quick, this wouldn't be kicking it unless this wouldn't be kicking it without kicks.
Yeah,
and so I know that each of you, we're supposed to bring your boss shoes. I know Stacy. I don't know what you wear. I don't know what Brendan wears or what Manny wears, but come with it. Bring it right now. And so
check.
So
I
these
told
will be
Brandon.
last.
I know Brandon ready.
Well, he just got up. So I don't know who wants to go first. Stace, go ahead and go first.
Well,
and then,
I guess I'll go first because I'm the lamest of them all. Like you guys are. I'm a girl. I wear girl shoes.
It's all right. That kicks. It's the kicks.
Okay, what you got? What you got?
Aight.
Whoa.
Hey, but that costs more than everything behind me, though. You know
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna shut mine down. I'm gonna hit my light.
You're shutting it down, Stace.
Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little about that shoe.
Yeah, what's that? What's that thing? What's that in your hand, Stace?
These are some Chanel, and to be honest, I will segue and say, after COVID, I really I've been a lot more conscious. I've always been conscious, but I am not into it. Like I'm looking for the next black man that's making a sneaker or a shoe. Like these are the last. Have you seen me with something designer? No, it's not new.
Real dope. That's good.
That's what's up.
I love it.
For me.
Hey, so I'm
love
about to make some shoes for you, Stacey. Just wait on it. Wait on it.
Designer.
Hey, wait on it.
Who next?
Who
Man,
next?
I heard you keep heat, Manny. That's what I heard. So
I mean, I wear a lot of used stuff, man, secondhand stuff. But
it don't matter.
But I ain't gonna lie though. These pretty new though.
Pull up.
What you got?
Pull up.
Oh, okay.
Classic,
beat it.
baby.
Can't beat
Tell
it.
us a little bit about it, man. Tell us about the shoe, man.
You know, the threes, the true blues.
Yeah.
I mean, originally I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. I mean, you know, the elephant print.
It speaks for
I
itself.
always
beat
wanted
that.
these.
Yeah.
I always wanted these. So
By the way, I think next
I
week
wore them.
they're coming out with the threes are coming out next week as well on Sunday. But it's gonna be
Animal
yeah.
joints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are dope, Manny. Those are dope. What size you wear? What size you wear? What are they?
11 and a half. Look out for your boys.
Yeah.
Same, bro.
Hey, I know, Shay.
What's
we're
up?
gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, we can talk.
What you got for us, Brandon?
So, man, you know, I brought out actually a couple pair of shoes.
Shoot.
That's like me. That's what I do.
Yeah, you sound like you've been talking to Shay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, man, and admittedly so, I'm not a huge Jordan guy. I think we done had this conversation before in the shop. Like, I'm not a big Jordan guy. You know what I'm saying? I got a few pairs. Number one is the infrared.
Okay.
Let's see.
I got these. These were actually gifted to me, man. You know what I'm saying? So these are straight. But a lot of times, man, I wear like more of a training shoe or just something low key or whatever. But these, I kind of wanted to amp these up a little bit, a little Vapor Max Plus.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's cross kick right there, the Vapor Max.
I like the Vapors, man.
You know,
I got a whole section.
On a low key day, you know, you going to brunch or something like that. You know, you just want to vibe real quick.
Some Pumas. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to switch it up, man, as much as I can. But I'm a big Adidas fan too. You know what I'm saying? Like Adidas training shoes, like NMDs and stuff like that. So that's how I rock it.
Yo, thank you guys so much, man. But before we let y'all go, we can't let y'all go without plugging in your handles at Twitter, at Instagram, at Facebook, your website, all that good stuff, so that we can make sure that the people can go see you online. And what we'll do is on the archive, we'll make sure to post a link to your websites as well. All right. And so definitely, Stace, can you tell us how do we get in contact with you? You're muted. Hold on, let me. I got you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so the company that I probably would want to plug though right now would be Posh Hydration.
All right.
Okay.
We need more than IV vitamin drips.
Okay. That's bet.
Where's Posh Hydration located?
So Posh Hydration is mobile. So it's located in DC, Maryland, Virginia, obviously. Then we have West Palm Beach and South Florida, the Miami-Dade area, and Broward.
Gotcha. And the website is poshhydration.com.
Yep, Posh Hydration. Right. And also like cocktails when we get ready to party again.
A little lounge.
I heard those are legends. How come I can't get an invite? Why can't I get an invite?
I didn't get an invite either.
You can never say you don't have an invite. You guys, I need to get y'all over to Instagram. Go over to Instagram, follow White Cocktails. There's no such thing as I didn't get an invite. That doesn't exist anymore.
All right, we'll be in the building next time.
For sure.
I think I found the website. We'll put that in the chat. Poshhydration.com, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Manny.
All righty. So I use Instagram quite a bit. So you can follow me at GOODY Vault. And if you go to that page on IG, it'll also take you to our showroom. We have a showroom here, downtown Huntsville in the Clinton Road Shops. So you can book an appointment, come hang out. Right now, I'm only doing one-on-one. You know, we got to watch this COVID thing, and please bring a mask. Other than that, you can reach me. You can hit our website at thegoodyvault.com and check us out.
Thank you so much. Mr. Palmer?
Yeah. So for us, fans, at Mr. B Grooming. So that'll be our Facebook, our Instagram, and also the website is mrbgrooming.com. So we take all our appointments online. It's super easy to book. And just real quick, man, I want to shout out, my other two barbers that work at the shop, Ben and Rob. I want to shout them guys out because without them, there would be no us. There would be no business, So I want to make sure that they know. And AJ, you hear it too.
Hey,
now.
And I must say, you know how you go in some barbershops, you be like, nah, he can't cut. No. All three of them brothers can cut. I mean, cut.
Who cut me up, AJ? Who was that?
That was Rob. Rob cut.
Yeah, he knocked me up real nice.
Hey, Brandon,
nice.
can you fix this real quick? Can you fix
Man,
this?
we can take care of that, man. We got you, man.
There's the COVID cut.
I get you. You ain't the only one out here, man. There was a lot of cats with that. You feel me?
Man, we really appreciate y'all, man, for coming on. We're gonna make sure that we plug you, keep you plugged, man. We'll make sure that we put your information on all of our pages and stuff when we upload our YouTube video for this as well. So thank y'all for joining us, man. We're gonna let y'all go. We know for some of y'all it's past y'all bedtime. I won't say who, but for some of y'all it's past y'all
gotta go to bed.
So.
Gotta go to bed early.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you
for coming on.
Thank you all so much.
Right in. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manny. Thank you so much. Yo, that was golden.
That's cool.
Yeah, bro.
That was golden. Like,
and it's something that we have to continue to see because you see other people doing it and you don't realize that somebody like you is doing it and doing it well. And that it's something that we all can do, man. I forgot who said it. Maybe it's Manny. I mean, each one of them left a good nugget, but I think Manny wanted something. Manny say you have to be willing to invest in yourself or take a chance on yourself. And I know for me, I've always said I want to be an entrepreneur, and it was taking a step out on faith and saying, okay, this is a plan. Let's do it. Let's execute it. A lot of people are scared, but it's like you can just like you can lose out and being an entrepreneur. You can lose your job tomorrow.
Yeah.
But being an entrepreneur gives you the opportunity to control your destiny as much as possible.
Yeah,
bro, is you banking on yourself? And I think I heard Manny say he wished he would have done this earlier.
Yeah. I think all of us can say that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There's that initial fear factor, and then the initial fear factor, and then you're able to get over. So. Coronavirus.
Let me say that. Let me say something to that too, man. Also, on top of the financial blessing of entrepreneurship, it's also fulfillment, man.
Yeah.
A lot of us are spending time, we're pushing the paper, we're earning checks to provide for our family, but many people aren't fulfilled. You have a creative side that you're not really, developing or driving that vehicle. And entrepreneurship, gives you an opportunity to scratch that creative itch. And also, man, you just feel great, man. Ever since we started this thing, man, I felt a whole lot better, man. And we're successful in our professions, but this was a different lane, something that God had put on our hearts, and to see it come to fruition is just amazing.
Yeah, I ditto that. I mean, it's just that, like you said, sometimes when you're working for and not for your own self, there's that a little bit of not being able to push the envelope the way you would like it to, and rightfully so, because the at the end of the day, the liability does not end with you. But when you are that owner, you're able to push the envelope, and you reap the benefits, and you take all of the all of the chances.
Yeah,
And
not
so,
and not only that, you got to think about it. A lot of people spend anywhere from 8 to 12, 14 hours working for somebody else, making them rich.
yeah,
When you can take, it may take you 24 hours to work for yourself, but you're doing it for yourself. You're building something for yourself.
yeah,
You're building something for your kids. I remember when we got our work truck. I brought the boys. I let them sit in it. They're like, "Dad, what's this for?" I said, "It's for our new business." I said, "And one day y'all gonna own it."
yeah,
The look on their face was like, and every time Harper come like, "Dad, yeah, you remember you told us one day we're gonna own." I'm like, "Yeah, one day you're gonna own this business." And if we can
mm,
put that picture in our kids' mind,
yeah,
then there's no telling what they can do.
yeah,
And
yeah,
let's
yeah.
just say this one more time, man. Do it.
Just do it.
Whoever you are, you've been dragging your feet, man.
Just do it.
You've been doubting yourself, man. You've been
Yeah,
doubting what God put on your heart. He spoke to you. He told you this is what he wanted you to do. All that's left to do is for you to do
Get
it.
out there and do it. If it's a podcast, if it's whatever it is, get out there and do it, man. Take a chance on yourself.
yeah.
And since
That's what it
since we
is.
said do it, I think that's the perfect segue, for us to jump into our next segment,
Just
our
do it.
kicking part. Let's just do it, man. Let's do it. Gio, take us into this, man.
Well, we haven't really been posting much lately, because we understand like the climate of what's going on. We really we didn't feel comfortable. I don't see comfortable is not even the right word. We didn't feel at ease, doing shoe reviews when our community is hurting in such a way, right?
Mhm.
And so we're called Kicking It, and primarily we're a show that deals with real issues, and as well as shoes, and but for the last couple of days, last week or so, our head has been in a different way, a different place. We've been looking at ways that we can help our community, help the movement, be a part of the solution. And to be honest with you, not to say that shoes are trivial, but as we look at as we look and weigh the reality of what's happening, we want to make sure that we prioritize our time and our efforts and our strength in trying to be there for our community. So tonight, as we segue, um, last week, uh, the 13th, not last week, last week, the Jordan hairs are supposed to come out. Is that what it was? The 6th,
Yeah, something like
and
that.
they got pushed back. They got pushed back because Jordan Brand realized that the time wasn't right for people to be sitting in line to try to buy shoes where cities are being burned down, and people are hurting. People who are peacefully protesting, in the nation's capital, in front of the White House, are being tear gassed just so someone can take a photo op.
Hmm.
And so,
Even to add to that, even today, my wife was trying to return some shoes on East Bay, and East Bay said they were closing today in honor of George Floyd's
Wow.
funeral.
memorial.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's I mean
Wow.
we've been silent, but I think it's I mean we've always heard it's a time and place for everything,
yeah,
and I think not only have we been trying to be respectful, but I think mentally we've just been it's been
bro.
a mental strain, a mental something. It just feels almost feel like we're in a twilight zone because of the things that's going on. And I mean I see things I see people coming together in a way I've never seen them before. But I think the mental strain has just been something crazy.
Yeah.
And you're right about that. I think that I mean, like this past week, you were out there protesting and
Hmm.
marching peacefully, I might add. And I think that, like you're saying, right now, our minds and our heads are totally in a different place. And as a result, we see not only did Michael Jordan and the brand not release those shoes, but man, this man made a contribution to equality.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can talk about it for a little
Yeah.
bit, but $100
Yeah.
million over 10 years,
Yeah.
partly the Jordan brand and part of his own money, I would guess, for the fight for equality. What are your thoughts about that?
Man, I could finally buy my Jordans and
In peace,
not feel guilty,
and I
man.
feel
This man
bad. In peace.
he finally gave back. You know what I'm saying? No,
Finally.
I think it speaks to how serious this was the environment is right now.
Yeah.
Because we saw on The Last Dance, like he plays basketball. He doesn't really dabble into social issues, not
Yeah.
publicly.
Yeah, not
But
publicly.
this thing was so real, man, that he went out there and he donated $100 million over 10 years. And I think that was a big move. I think it's the least he could do. No disrespect to him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he has made a lot of money over the
Off the
years
black community.
off of the black community.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. I mean, I'm not doing backflips for it because it shouldn't have taken this for him to do
It's
this.
about time.
But
Yeah.
but it's a good thing. He didn't have to.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a good thing, and I think, and that's why I say about I see so many people coming together because I mean, in addition to him, you have places like Target. Target was one of the first places that got torched.
Yeah.
And then they came out and donated money and said they're going to help. You see things. You see people donating that have never donated in this way before.
Yeah.
And, you know, kudos, hats off to Mike and Nike brand and Jordan brand for doing this. I think it's good because I think a lot of people have been waiting for him to do something
for a while.
on the social justice
Yeah.
side. And I think it's good that he's doing it now.
And not to steal Croc Kicks his favorite word, but the energy is beautiful, man. I think that like overall the energy is something that we haven't noticed, and this is globally, right? This is just not here in the States, but we're talking about in you know, in Korea, in Africa. I mean, I've seen in the Caribbean, in Europe. People are marching and they're calling out George Floyd's name. And I think that that's dope because the energy that we're seeing here is more or less the essence of what we thought this country should have been about, a melting pot, people coming together. Now, even though this is the energy that we're seeing, we know that not everybody's on the same type of energy.
Yo,
you got 50 minus 5 out there, you know, making fun of senators who might be Republicans who are marching. He's talking about the NFL's new, I don't know if we're going to get into this today, but their new stance on protest.
We can segue into that.
Yeah.
No, the biggest thing for me, Gio, was when he said George Floyd is smiling down because he has great unemployment numbers or something like that. And
it's a good day for everybody.
Yeah.
51 minus 6 is just, he's trash, man. But anyway.
So
y'all gotta pray for me on that joint. Y'all gotta pray for me on that joint.
The energy is good.
Brother.
The energy is good. All right, so I guess that was my little segment.
Yo, did LeBron
kudos.
do anything?
You know, I don't know. I've been looking. I haven't seen it.
I haven't
heard about financial things, but I know he has been speaking out.
Yeah.
He spoke out after Drew Brees made his statement. I saw a couple things I'm speaking. I haven't heard about.
We don't want no speech. We want to see bread.
Yeah.
No, but real talk. No. I say this in just agent. We know the LBJ is very conscious. His record his record speaks for itself. So
I will say this. If Jordan continues to impact the community like this, GOAT conversation is over. Because the only reason why I even entertain it is because of what LeBron does off of the court. And I know it's not supposed to matter. It has nothing to do with GOAT, but really, that's the only reason why he's in the conversation. So if Jordan picks this up, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Well, for LeBron, though, remember that this $100 million comes from Nike too, and LeBron is a Nike athlete. So
okay. Nike did 40 million. This is Jordan brand, but whatever. Say what you want to say, fam. It is what it is. It is what it is.
All right. So let's transition. Man, what about the mayor of DC? Y'all see that energy?
Yo,
see that energy?
Yo.
I love that lady.
No, they're playing checkers in the White House. She's playing chess. Oh, you gonna what?
Oh, yeah, you gonna do
Black Lives Matter way, baby.
Oh, you gonna shoot tear gas and rubber bullets into the crowd? Watch this.
Yeah.
She paints Black Lives Matter in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying?
That's
not even. Well, hold on,
AJ. I mean, Shay. I mean, Croc Kicks. That wasn't the end of it. They changed the name of the street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put the street sign up. And if you've ever been, all of us have been to DC. You know how big those streets are. To me, they're not normal size streets. Those are like huge streets, and to paint that on the street, That was a major
in
statement. They had to
yellow.
go and put the sign up. That was a
Yeah.
major statement.
And that didn't look like it was water paint, like, or that joint looked like it was like road paint, like with reflection in that
It
joint.
ain't come up yet. After how it's been about a week now, it ain't come up yet.
Man, I love it. I
love
love that energy.
Keep that
That's the
same
type of
energy.
Keep
energy
that
we
same
need.
energy.
We
Let's
need
go,
that.
Shay.
Black Lives Matter Plaza,
And-
man.
I mean, in all honesty, too, I think it's about time that we stop trying to play nice when
Yeah.
when 52 minus 7 doesn't. This is how he's petty. He's childish.
Yeah.
So why keep not trying to play childish with him?
Up it.
Hit him where it hurts at, because you know it hurts
Yeah.
for him to say, "Oh,
Oh yeah.
1,500 black."
And make it right on Black Lives Matter road. Come on.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
yeah,
dope.
man. Let's.
Yeah, so I mean, in keeping with that too, man. I like that the military, and that's why I keep saying I see a lot of people making decisions that I never thought would have been made before. The military has banned Confederate flags. When in our
Was it the
time would we
military or
ever
was it
thought-
Marines? Which one was it?
I think it was the military. I thought it
I
was the
think
military
all
completely.
together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
on all no tags, no on
All
your
branches.
cups, on anything. You
Get
cannot
outta
be
here.
in the military and have Confederate flags. And I think
Never.
it's about time.
never said-
I had this conversation, I can't remember with who, and they just couldn't understand. I think we were talking about statues coming down. Why these people are so adamant about a flag and they call it heritage. It's not heritage. And why would you
Bro.
wait? These people, this flag represented the people that fought against the United States. So why would you live in the United States and still wave a flag that's been defeated? I don't. And some of these people are the biggest people who talk about patriotism, but yet they're waving a Confederate flag. So I don't. The mindset that I don't get it, but I'm happy to see the military finally speak up on this, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I drive in different parts of Florida and different parts of Apopka and Tampa and different places, and whenever I go by a place that has a Confederate flag, I just get a feeling an uneasy feeling, like what's going on. Like if I stop here, I mean, what's going to happen?
Bro, I
So-
pastored in Lakeland. You already know what that means.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
I know what that is.
And this thing, like I said, is global. Even in England, statues are coming down. Like this thing is bigger, and that's why I think this is different. Because we've marched before, we've signed petitions before, we directed our funds before, but I think that the whole George Floyd situation has struck a different chord in the hearts of just humankind, right?
Yeah.
It's bigger than just America. It's bigger than it's just humankind. Like it's time that people realize that everyone matters in terms of blacks matter, Black Lives Matters, and that we should be given the same equality and the same opportunities and equities as other people. And so,
Man, let me tell you mentioned I was at a peaceful protest in the Apopka
Peaceful.
Saturday. It was actually formed by high school students at Apopka High School.
Mm.
And then their parents came and helped them. It was great. I mean, I think it was probably more non-black people than black people there. And then one sign that caught me, it was a white guy, his son, I think his daughter, and his wife. His sign simply said, "I see you, I hear you, I'm with you." And I was like, man, that's all we've been asking for this whole time. To not say I don't see color, because to not see color means that you're blind.
Yeah.
Right.
We all see color. We don't want
Yeah.
you not to see color. I want you to see color, but I want you to appreciate the differences in that comes with my color, that comes with who I am,
Yeah.
that comes with my culture. And to
Yeah.
see that one sign, out of all the signs I saw, that one sign stuck with me. And I think, and I keep saying it here in Orlando, Mayor Buddy Dyer has made a pledge to start police reform. I know that there are a couple other mayors. Cuomo in New York is saying that
Defunding.
they're going to start police reform. And to see this stuff happening, man, I mean, it's sad that it took something like this to spark this, but I'm glad that in my opinion, George Floyd would not have died in vain, because something bigger is coming. As like his daughter said, My daddy changed the world.
Change the world, my
My daddy
Lord.
changed the world. And I
Mm.
mean, I'm thankful for the people. I'm thankful that we are coming together and that people realize that it's not on black people to fix a problem that black people didn't create.
Hey,
We all
say
have to
that
come
again.
together to fix this problem. So I'm thankful that everybody is coming together. We just need to keep pushing, man. We cannot stop. It's not enough to get a bunch
Same
of
energy.
promises. Yeah, it's not enough to get a bunch of promises. We need to see action.
Hmm.
We need to
Right.
see action, and we can't let up off the gas until we see action. And we got to keep going
Yeah.
and going
And
and going.
and keep sharing, man. I know it's difficult. Listen, it's exhausting for me. It's frustrating for me. It's
Yeah,
painful for me to continue to share these videos, right? But the only way we're going to keep this energy um, is for us to see this thing. And there's going to be days when you got to take a break. Take your break. That's
Yeah.
only natural. You
Yeah.
got to protect your mental. But man, we got to continue to shine light into this darkness, man. And it's been good. The support has been good, but we want more. I do want
Yeah.
to add something, man. Is that it's not on our notes, man. Drew Brees. I know we don't got no cleats behind us, man. But what do y'all think
Uh,
about Drew Brees' statement?
tone
which
deaf.
one? Which one? Because
The
out
the
of the mouth,
initial statement when he was
out of the mouth, the abundance of the heart speaks. All right, that's biblical, right? So, at the end of the day, when people speak off the cuff versus when people are scripted, I tend to go with what's off the cuff, right? Um, but then I realize that professional athletes have a brain and that they sometimes have marketing firms. And maybe up until the George Floyd thing, his brand has always been pro military, pro flag, and that was his script. No matter what the circumstances were, I'm going to just keep saying the same thing over and over again. But even in that, here lies the problem. People are more connected to their scripts than they are to being empathetic to a plight of a people, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So for me, the apology doesn't mean anything for me because this guy was willing to just give a flippant,
Yep.
well rehearsed
Yep.
statement that he's used in the past on a current circumstance, right? So no, I get it. I get it that his superstar receiver called him out. I get it that people call them bastards and words like that. I get it. And you know what? Once you lose respect in your locker room, it's hard to maintain that elite level. And to be quite honest with you, homeboy might be here in Knox. Not to say anything, but my boys is backup quarterback now. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
Let, hey,
that's all I'm saying.
Y'all ain't
let's
doing
let's
right. Y'all ain't doing my dog right. So
let's backtrack too, just for those who know, for those who may not know, Drew Brees is an NFL quarterback for the Saints, and he was asked about players kneeling, and he went into a diatribe about how his grandfather and them served in the war, and so he saw kneeling as an act of disrespect, kneeling during the national anthem as an act of disrespect. To me, it just spoke tone deafness. You live in New Orleans. You're surrounded by a bunch of black players. If for you to not to understand and to not hear what they're saying, to me it's just being tone deaf. I mean, we talked about this on Memorial Day. Has a father who served in the military. I had a father served in the military. That the
yeah.
Kaepernick explained it. His kneeling had nothing to do with being disrespectful. He was told by a Green Beret that the best form of respect would be to kneel, and for people to still take it and just try to make what they want out of it. It's just clear to
Yeah,
me that number one, they're tone deaf. Number two, they're being intentional. It's not
yeah.
that
Yep.
they can't understand. They don't want to
They
understand
don't want to
because
because
Right.
they don't want to acknowledge what the protest is about. That's the same reason why people spend more time talking about protests than they do about George Floyd being killed.
Mm-hmm.
Because
no,
they rather talk about
but
rioting and protesting than they would about problems that
and
cause
see,
people to riot.
it's all about narratives, and I'm glad that some people are getting it right, that they realized that a lot of the riots, yeah, but there were some people, some actors, not actors, but people within those groups that I believe were there not for the cause, but just to cause
Yeah,
chaos.
of course.
But but as the protests continued, I'm talking about throughout the week, You've seen how people started self-policing. I've seen how people within a protest, literally stand between rioters and buildings, say, no, you're not going to change. You're not going to give them the opportunity to change the narrative. This is not about rioting. This is about peaceful protesting to protest the injustices suffered at the hands of police as it relates to police brutality. So, yeah, man, I think that we got to be careful about letting people tell our story, and that's something that we should always be careful about. Don't let anyone craft your story for you, but you craft it for yourself, because no one's going to tell your story as well as you can. And so I think this is where we're at now.
Let me jump in here real quick, because Breeze, he didn't realize that this temperature was real.
It changed. It
changed. He thought this was 2016 hot. You know what I'm saying? 2017 hot. Nah, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? It's hot. And either you with us or you against us.
Yeah.
And he realized he put that out there. He thought he was exempt.
He was
fishing. Wrong. And we've moved past Drew Brees. Like, it's gonna be very interesting when football starts again. What that looks like. I wonder if the left tackle, is just gonna pull a hammy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's gonna be very interesting. I don't think they're gonna want to play for him.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't think that locker room, even these scripted, statements from other players. Nah, bro. You see my man's emotions. Homer was crying. Jenkins, when Jenkins is sitting here speaking about it, like, he's emotional, because they know, and here's what it is. I think players know other players, and they know what they really stand for, besides what is really shown on TV. And so sometimes when you mess up and what you stand for, you actually say it. Other players now have just cause to call you out on it. And because, listen, I don't know anywhere else where where the quarterback, one of the greatest, a GOAT, has broken all the records. His receiver gets on Instagram and calls him out, like, almost instantaneously.
I think they don't, like Shay said, they don't realize how hot it is. People are tired. People have had enough, and they are calling you out on your BS. Nobody's taking crap anymore.
That's what you said, AJ. Yeah.
And so it's real in the field. And I can throw this curveball in there. Well, not this curveball, but also, how y'all feel about Dabo Sweeney with his Football Matters shirt? Y'all heard about that?
Yeah. Let me say,
it's tone deaf. Again, it's just tone deaf.
Before I can check him, I got to check Florida State head coach Mike Norvell.
Let's go. I'm gonna take a back seat on this.
This hurts me because I'm diehard Florida State. I almost named my son Nolan. All right. Yeah. And my issue with what he did was he embellished the truth. It was cap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for those who didn't hear, he was asked the question on what Florida State was doing. Deal with their players with the situation, the Black Lives Matter situation. And he lied and said that he spoke with every player individually, which was a lie. They sent the text message out, and then they made themselves available to everybody. And Big Marv, man, he called them out on the joint. He said it was a lie, and we would not be practicing, having individual workouts until further notice, man. So kudos to Big Marv for that. Dabo, he's out of line, man. Football matters. I don't care how old the shirt was. That joint should not be worn. Like, you lead Black men onto the field every Saturday. You don't care. You don't care. I don't care what you say. You wear a shirt like that, you don't care.
And I think that's what it is. AJ said it best. People want to say I'm colorblind, and being colorblind is an issue for me, right? Because, like you're saying, you're a leader of these players, and majority of the players on your team are African American, and you've recruited them. You've been to their houses. You know from which context they come from, and you understand that they're trying to make it out of that context. And a part of making it out of that context is also being mentally in good health. And for you to do that to your players, man, you're putting them off. You're putting them off. So yeah, he's out of pocket. He's out of line. And don't tell me, show me. All right.
I agree with that.
Don't tell me, show me.
So
So look,
yeah, go ahead.
we got some kicks coming up, man. We can't end the show without talking about the kids coming up. I know somebody is trying to somebody looking for some Flint 13, some Flint
I'm
13
looking.
real
I mean,
bad,
I'm
boy.
looking. I'm looking for the box. I'm looking for the
I'm looking at the
box.
box.
Hey, so
I'm
have y'all
looking
heard
at
Yo,
anything about some restocks?
yeah.
yo.
So man, I'm sorry, George. Go ahead, Gio.
No,
Go
you can
ahead,
go.
please.
I was going to say the same thing you're probably going to say. The restart game is wild and them bots.
Trash.
You can get it because listen, we just told the entire kicking it, audience throughout the week. Just go to Jumpman 23 app, and they'll tell you where to go get your stuff. And they kept saying, go to Foot Locker online. You see the sizes there. They are
Bots.
available. And every time, I mean, listen for like 3-4 days straight, my thumb was just
Bots.
hitting that button every day, every hour, on the hour. And every time I hit it, it just wouldn't go through. And I guess what's happening is, as a result of coronavirus, a lot of these shoe resellers are, they have increased their abilities to get their hands on these shoes first.
So
And a lot of them are using bots. Bots are like programs, like algorithms where literally they set it on
So
automatic.
how did you feel? Because you waited for some restocks, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I did, and
How
then
did
I
you
could
feel,
not, but I had to go to resale.
bro? How did you feel though?
how you feel though, the fact that you've been waiting for these restocks and you see the restocks coming, but you can't never hit on
I'm
the restocks,
upset.
huh?
I'm upset. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset. But listen, I'm upset on two fronts. On one
Okay.
front is like I see it there, but I can't get it. So
Uh,
that's annoying. And the
uh.
other front is like I'm paying premium now for a shoe that didn't cost that much. But you
So are
Let,
you
know,
let me
recommending? Are you
uh,
recommending to the people that they need that resale is the best way right now?
for
listen,
the
y'all. I'm
13,
listen,
probably
y'all. Listen,
maybe for the
y'all. Listen,
Harrison.
y'all. Listen, y'all. This restock business right now is its own shaking. And as you wait for the
Price
restock,
going up.
the price is climbing.
It,
So
it's a business
man,
decision you got to do. It's a business
Yeah.
decision. I won't say who, but one of my boys is like, "Yo, I'm gonna hit them before the price goes up." And I was looking at the resale prices, and they were creeping up. And yet, at the same time, the Foot Locker app wasn't working for me. So I said, you know what? Before it gets to the point where I know I'm gonna get in trouble from the treasure of my house for not being able to be honest, baby, honest.
and and they'll
Before
drop.
they're
The
gonna
price is going to
drop.
drop a little bit, but it's going to come back up. It's just a
Yeah.
wave. It's a wave. It's just like a stock. Um, Man, the hair sixes, man. I'm out. I can't make the purchase. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Listen,
overspent.
I'll
What
make
y'all?
it
What
for you.
y'all? What y'all?
Oh,
You
I'm
listen,
got
going.
on the colors
listen,
already. You got on the colors already, Gio.
listen,
Yo,
listen. I want
Miami
them, but
colors.
my wife came in my closet and saw another purchase that was made and asked
Purchase,
questions about
yeah.
that. And then another shoe showed up on the doorstep today, and she asked,
Oh, you
she,
feeling
she,
good.
she said, you got a problem, huh?
You got a
Listen, y'all,
problem.
hey,
That's a polite way. That's a
y'all
polite
don't get
way.
y'all don't get
If I
kicked out
get
of the
those,
house.
I need to send it to one of y'all houses, and I'll meet y'all somewhere and pick it
No,
up.
send
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
my
Send them
house.
here. Send them here.
Send it
Send them
to
to
my
me.
house,
Send them to me. Send
please,
them to me.
AJ. Please send it
She
to my
she
house,
said
please.
she heard me.
Oh, next plan. You
Listen,
got.
yeah. So the Jordan 6 hairs, man, that's what come out last week, and I saw an ad saying that they pushed it back due to everything going on. So they're going to come out, I believe this Friday, rather than the Saturday release, it's a Friday release. So if
Jeez.
you want them, man, Friday's the day, man. So I think that tomorrow we should get the Hibbit Sports. That was one raffle that we heard about.
Ooh,
I'm not saying who entered into that raffle, but that's one raffle we
ooh.
heard about. And tomorrow between 12 and 7, Hibbit will let those who entered that raffle know whether or not they got it.
Yo,
If not, then you just gotta
real
wait till Friday,
talk.
man.
I think I hit, but we'll find out.
Think
Yeah, we're
so?
gonna find out. Yeah, hey, you can have them, cause I'm out. Uh, I'm on
You,
punishment. I'm self
you,
quarantine. I'm
yo, you
self
got like a
quarantine.
million sixes, anyways. You don't need any more.
I need my six collection to go up, but the way my checking account is set up, I got a checking and a savings
Fair to
account.
say, man.
You know, and and even neither one of them is going to allow that transaction, especially after I found out I owe $1,400 in taxes. Y'all make sure y'all go out and vote. I'm not
Come
gonna
on.
tell y'all who to vote for.
Come on.
But my taxes was Gucci before somebody got up in that White House. So
Hey,
man,
man,
make sure y'all are voting, man.
you
Vote
ain't
your
wealthy
conscience,
enough to get that
man.
tax cut he be talking about, brother.
I would, man, perhaps. So man, let's do it. Let's dive into the segment that I enjoy. You know,
Before
a
you
pair of
go,
shoes.
let me show my little shoes first, because I'm not gonna
Okay.
go. I'm not going hard. I already know what time it
I
is.
ain't going hard. I ain't going hard.
I can't go last. I can't go today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna show you what I wore today. I'm putting out the shoes that I had on today. Some people might confuse those for the OVOs, but they're not. They're regular.
Brother, nobody would know if you ain't said.
They're the 10s. Now, I'm gonna say because
I'll show the bottom,
I'm a man of principle. It's still translucent, fan. It's a little dirty. I walked in it. It's a little dirty. I walked.
I love it. Yeah. No, man. To be honest with you, the 10s are actually one of my favorite pair of shoes.
I do love these, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's the first Jordan I ever owned. I didn't buy it. Somebody traded with me. So man, the 10s always have a special place in my heart, man. I like the black on black colorway, especially in the time that we in right now. Ted, what you got for us, man?
Man, I'm letting you go first, Croc.
Okay then.
Oh, yeah, but hey,
I'm going. I ain't going major. You know what I'm saying? What my camera right here? These are the 720s. And these are Odell Beckham's. Desert Ore is the colorway. You know, you can take that off. You know, I wasn't feeling just the white on white there, so I like a little color. So I put that there.
Can you do profile view?
Yeah, my fault. It also comes with, I think, different sets of laces. I have a white pair of laces to go with this pair. Very comfortable. If you're looking for a comfortable shoe, the 720 is very comfortable. And some of the other colorways are really on sale. You can get them at a good price.
All right. AJ coming out with some heat. He want to go last.
I would talk about these, but Croc Kicks already killed.
No, go ahead, Croc.
I won't talk about those. No,
go ahead.
Hey, turn the light off. Turn the light off. Turn the light off. See them glows.
But
charge it.
These came in the mail today, man. Chicago 1 Black Toes.
Mids.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I actually
like it.
A lot of people talk about they don't like the tongue, but I like the tongue. I like the.
Let me see the tongue.
I like the tongue. It's different. I like the white.
Yeah, it has the little, it has a thing on it. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a clean shoe, man. It's
how's the leather on the toe?
It's okay. It's not.
The bounce back.
So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed about
on the bread toes is much better.
Bring the shoe closer to your microphone.
Yeah,
it's outside of the picture
frame.
Gotcha. Here we go. It's hard to see.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So the leather on the bread toes.
He's showing 3 shoes. Y'all see that, right?
That's
better. 3 shoes.
No,
that's 3 shoes you showed.
Yeah, he's slick with it.
Yeah, but you showed the Travis Scotts too.
These right here, the leather's not as good, but maybe when I break it in, you know, ones you gotta wear.
Yeah, but you know the ones, the leather, I really don't like the toe leather. It's just it's
you
like,
don't like the ones?
I do love them, but it's just
you must.
I don't like creases in my joints.
Oh, you got
they're legit.
If you're gonna wear ones, brother, you're gonna get creases in.
I gotta keep this joint. I gotta keep this joint in. Look at that. That's what I hate about that. I gotta keep these in. Yeah, I hate the bounce back. I put these in.
Well, anyways, listen, y'all hung in here. Y'all hung in here with us, man. We started off a little late. Y'all some troopers, man. We thank you all for kicking it with us.
Man. Yeah,
we love y'all, man. We love.
Can we give a shout out again to those 3 entrepreneurs, Stacy Santiago, Brendan Paulmore, and Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, that was a nurse practitioner group / Posh Hydration, Mr. B's Grooming.
The Goody Vault.
The Goody Vault, get them goodies.
Make sure y'all go ahead and support them, man. These are Black-owned business. I know those who are here in Central Florida can visit Mr. B's Grooming. Those who are in DC or Miami or Palm Beach can support, or I mean, can support Posh Hydration. And then Manny he has a Google. I mean, he has Instagram where you can buy stuff from. Right,
Yep.
right, Crop. And then also
Yep.
in the Huntsville area, you can stop by, shop, and check them out. So
Website, also everything, the Goody Vault. And also, if you all know some Black-owned businesses, go ahead and put this in the comment. We're gonna compile a list of Black-owned businesses in the 3 cities that we live in: Huntsville, Orlando, and Miami. We got your hands full down in South Florida.
Yeah.
That's a large territory, but we're gonna do what we can to just impact Black entrepreneurship. But yeah,
because the goal is to set, like we said, July 7th. Is that what it is? It's not enough just to only shop Black on that day. We want to change our habits going forward. Let your money speak for itself, and let's send a message that we have our ice is cold, just like their ice is cold. You know what I mean? So we have good products, we have good services, good businesses that we can be patrons of, and let's lift each other up, and let's keep that money circulated in our own community, and let's grow real wealth for our community. So that's the goal.
I think we also had one business. We had one business owner we tried to get on, but we couldn't get in contact with him. But we know we wanted to send a special shout out, man, to our brother, man, who has his business, Tasty Palette, man.
Yeah.
If you need some food cook, man, make sure you check out Tasty Palette, and none other than Mr. Wesley Sterling, man. So,
if y'all want to see Wes, man, y'all want to see Wes on the show, man.
Hey, hit them likes. Hit them likes,
man.
Hit them likes.
Man.
Hit them likes.
Man, let's get this brother on the show.
I like my dark-skinned brother, man. My dark-skinned brother.
The darkest brother I know.
Yeah, look at them likes going up, bro. Look at them likes. Look at them likes. You want to see Chef Wes, man? Tasty Palette, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Don't forget, man, to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm saying that because this is going to go on YouTube, but don't y'all forget to like this, share it, tell somebody else. Man, catch us on here next week. Follow us on Instagram as well. We love y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
We'll be back to regular time, 9 p.m. next Monday.
We out.